This is the third battle between Balor of Agartha and Darklobe. Third one I'm uploading anyway. And the matchup is Westphalia versus the Emirate of Cordoba. I don't think that we've seen that matchup before. So for the Saxons, they have their fragile but dangerous Saxon cavalry, 2 on each flank. We have a center of spear band. Then we have archers in the back. Then we have some sword veterans. Interesting unit for Westphalia. It gives them some much needed survivability. Axe warriors gives them some punching power. Axe warriors over here as well. The Hearth Guard, your standard elite sword infantry with 50 melee damage. So I like this. I like this Saxon army. A bit of punch, a bit of survivability, some skirmish, a balanced, nice and balanced army. Then we have, for Cordoba, we have Andalusian cavalry, Umayyad Guard, and Andalusian cavalry. We have Berber warriors. Then we have some Andalusian archers here in the center, armored archers over on the flanks. For infantry, we have 2 units of Andalusian infantry on the flanks. We have a center of Andalusian warriors. So a lot of armor for 20 armor isn't a lot, but it's more than the armor of the axis of the Saxons. The Emirate of Cordoba has some survivability here. In the skirmish trade, if these armies just stand and trade volleys, no contest. The Emirate of Cordoba has the option to go and fire down from this slight elevation. Their skirmishers are better because they have the armored archers able to take a royal beating. Now, using spear wall, if you intend to stay and take fire for extended time, using spear wall is a very good idea. Here we have the Saxon cav rushing in, firing on the armored archers. They might have made the decision to get the armored archers off the field because there are very few cavalry units for them to fire on. But being able to snipe the enemy general or the Andalusian cav could be exceptionally useful. And now the Saxon cav is taking fire. Already dropping a bit, yeah. But it gave the Saxons a small advantage here in the skirmish. Now here we have the Berber warriors charging into the spear band. Downhill for the Berber warriors. The Berber warriors should have no problems dealing with the spear band. And the Berber warriors are the superior unit. They have a bit of armor on them. Now here come the sword veterans rushing in, and this is a problem because now the sword veterans are not in shield wall. That could be exploited by if this unit moves into shield wall, it will be able to remove both of these units. But it doesn't seem like the shield wall is going to happen actually. No, they're charging in, so missed an opportunity there. The Andalusian infantry charges in together with the Andalusian cavalry. They do need to be careful though because there are axe warriors. Running around with these Andalusian infantry units and not using shield wall is a definite problem. In my opinion, you lose a lot of killing power. The spear band here chasing after the Andalusian archers. Nice use of them. Over in the back here we have cheeky Saxon cav running around. No doubt wanting to snipe the enemy general here. The Umayyad Guard is taking flaming shots. Not a huge problem for him, but if he stays here, it's going to be eventually. And here you see, yep, the Andalusian infantry shield wall loses to the axe warriors. Over here, the Andalusian infantry is doing a decent job against the sword veterans. But shield wall, shield wall, shield wall, all day, every day. Andalusian cav trying to catch the Saxon cav. They have managed to do so. But the Saxon cav is pulling back in and pulling out and going back in, getting some support from the Andalusian infantry here. A bit of a spear grind out, and again the sword veterans rush in, means they won't be able to use their shield wall. On the other hand, what the Emirate of Cordoba really lacks here is punching power. They have no infantry able to take the Saxon infantry head on and come out on top. They do have survivability, but not using shield wall with the Emirate of Cordoba is very risky. So here we see the Axe warriors charging into the Andalusian warriors, and you should see the Andalusian warriors drop relatively quickly. But the Axe warriors are an inferior unit in the grind out. Here comes the other Axe warriors. Nice use of the Axe warriors here, sending them in when things are starting to get hairy. When units have lost hit points, if you send in Axe warriors with high charge, you're going to be able to finish off a lot of those men relatively quickly. And you can see that happening here. The Axe warriors, although they are dropping themselves, they are racking up some very nice kills here. But they are fragile, so getting about 90 kills here. And the Andalusian warriors breaking through, starting to chase away the spear band. Getting a rear charge in here with a very depleted unit. But just as the Axe warriors broke through there, and the center is crumbling for the Emirate of Cordoba. The cavalry has just about, the cavalry units have just about cancelled each other out. We have the Umayyad Guard still on the field. That could be a hugely important unit for Cordoba now. If the Emirates skirmishers can focus on the general here, and if this Umayyad Guard only engages where it's sure to win, those two factors could be extremely important. But the archers, they don't have any support. They're being chased away, and it looks dire for the Emirate of Cordoba here. They are losing on many fronts. No shield walls here. But look at the Hearth Guard. The Hearth Guard is the Saxon general is a volley or two away from getting killed. The Andalusian infantry charges in to get the rear charge on him. Once again, no shield wall is being used by either player here. The Hearth Guard gets attacked in the rear. He's starting to drop because he's been fighting for a long time. He's lost a significant amount of his hit points. So this is a very important part of the battle here, where the low morale of the Saxons could come into play when the general is going to die here. No question about it. And there it is, the general of the field. Let's see for how long these units are able to stay in the fight when the general is done for. The archers managing to run away, firing at the sword veterans.
Our men have regrouped.
Oh, massive wavering going on for the Saxons. The sacrificial Andalusian camp being sent in. But we do still have the sword veterans. We do still have an Axe warrior, but that almost full strength Umayyad Guard is going to be an issue. Last charge of the spear band is going to break momentarily, just getting stabbed to bits. This sword veteran is also going to rout soon. This Axe warrior is one charge away from dying.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
And for Cordoba, we have quite a few of these Andalusian warriors. Cordoba went extremely melee heavy, and it seems to be paying off here in the late game. Even though they lost a lot of engagements, they just kept on piling in the units. So here we have the general dead. Here we have the morale of the Saxons being a problem. Might be able to save them from running away if they don't get into any hairy situations. The Axe warriors taking a bit of fire, but these units are all very depleted in terms of ammunition. The Andalusian infantry managed just to get into the archers, and that might be enough to break them here. Yep, there we go.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Now the Umayyad guard taking fire could lose a man or two, but the archers are going to be off the field now. And just shield wall the Andalusian warriors against the sword veterans, and rear charge the sword veterans with the cavalry, and the Saxons are done for. If the Emirate of Cordoba manages to throw away this, I don't see any way that's really possible. Yep, there we go. 244 kills for Andalusian warriors. That is extremely good for that unit. Finally a shield wall. Yep, finally a shield wall. And I think we're going to see a shield wall over here as well. Yeah, finally. So finally using shield wall, and that sword veteran is going to be carved to bits. I keep droning on about the shield wall, but it's so important to be using your shield walls when you're... Because if you look at a lot of these melee units, they are very similar. They have a lot of armor, they have a high melee defense. But look at the difference here between using shield wall and not using shield wall. So the Andalusian warriors here, they have 40. Let's see, they have 46 melee attack when they're using shield wall. That plus 10 isn't shown on the stat card. They have 50 melee damage when using shield wall, 89 melee defense, and a 95% missile block. Compare that to the sword veterans. They only have their 40 melee attack, they only have 40 melee damage, and their melee defense is only 59 now. So shield wall is just... In Rome 2, shield wall was... You charged in, you got the charge bonus, you activated shield wall, you got the defensive bonuses. In Attila, what you see a lot of the time, and what you should see, is the shield wall being used to engage. So since you can't activate shield wall once engaged, which is the way it should be, then you just activate the shield wall, walk up to your opponent, and if he isn't in shield wall and isn't an axe unit, he usually gets wrecked. So the Emirate of Cordoba grinds this one out. Balor of Agartha and Emirate of Cordoba takes it. It's very... the sturdiness of the Emirate of Cordoba came into play against the relative fragile nature of the Saxons here. So we have one more battle between Balor and Darkglobe. Strength and Honor.